Hey guys, meteorologist Chris Tomer here with this mountain weather update, and this is the On the Snow Before You Go forecast. Here's what I'm seeing in this forecast period. I've got 3 storm systems lined up. We could be looking at major snowfall in some places, including the Wasatch. I think that's going to be one of the snow bullseyes. You can see the timelines here for the Wasatch, Tetons, Colorado. I'm not going to go through all of them, but you will have some new snow on 218 into early 219 in some of these places. So 219 will be a great powder day in some spots. And then there's a lot of snow that's going to fall beyond because there are 2 additional storm systems. In the Northeast, I've only got some light snow in my forecast 222. And then what's interesting, a little pattern shift with the northern branch getting involved on or after 225 through at least 228. That could mean some big totals for across the west and a nice west-northwest flow pattern. So we'll look at all that in this forecast update. Here's my spider chart. Odds of best snow during this next 7 days. So more purple higher on the wood represent better odds of new snow. And that's a lot of Colorado. That's the central and northern mountains of Colorado. That's the Tetons. That's definitely the Wasatch. That's parts of the Pacific Northwest. That's the Sierra. All those places are going to see significant snowfall over this time period. All right, let me take you back, and I want to show you water vapor satellite imagery and give you the lay of the land during this period. So oranges and reds are your drier air aloft, the moistures and your whites and your blues. There's your wave of snow 218, and then that's going to move away. Now behind it, your main area of low pressure with the trough is right here. And that's what's been taking its time, moving towards the California-Oregon coastline. And it's being guided by this dip in the subtropical jet, but eventually that'll bring it in. 218, 19, 20, 21, 22. That'll be one of the main storm systems that crosses Utah and Colorado, 220, 221, and 22 with significant snowfall. And then we're going to see a change, like a shift in the pattern behind that around 225 with the northern branch coming in. In fact, let me show it to you. Here's the forecast jet stream. That's here we are on 219, close of day. Here comes the trough into California. Then it makes its move into the interior, 220, 221, crosses Utah, crosses Colorado on 222, and we'll see some big snow. Here comes the next storm headed towards California, but watch what happens. Watch the northern branch, boom. So on 225, it starts to buckle, and it brings its own storm system. So we could be looking at a bit of a merger of energy and precip between the northern and southern branches there, 225, 226, and look at the pattern it sets up. By the end of close, into business on 227, a nice west-northwest flow. We could be looking at major snow totals as a result of this. Colder air squeezing out some good snow, some high snow ratios. Putting precip on this, so there's your precip Monday morning, 219 at 5 a.m. Next storm system and wave hitting California. That blows moisture into the interior, 219, 220. And then the storm actually makes its move. Here it is on 221, headed towards the Four Corners, rolling through Utah, Colorado. You can see the snow in Colorado on 222 in the morning, and it will be there in the afternoon, and then it dries up. Then we're into a couple days of just kind of waiting. And here it comes, storm into California, but also the northern branch buckling at the same time. And watch what happens. There's 226 in the morning, widespread snow with that flow pattern delivering significant snow to a lot of mountain ranges with that type of flow. Very good. Here we are in 226 afternoon, 227, and the flow continues, and there's another storm right there coming out of the Pacific Northwest. So I like what I'm seeing down the road with this. All right, here's the grand total map. This is all of 218 through 227, so you get an idea of what the grand totals may look like by the time we get to the end of the day on 227. And we could be looking at 2 to 3 feet in California, maybe more up around Shasta. Probably 3 to 4 feet of grand total accumulation in Big and Little Cottonwood Canyons. A little bit less up in Park City, Deer Valley, Snow Basin. But in western and northwest Colorado, 1 to 2, 2.5 feet. Not out of the question as a grand total. Looking good, maybe 1 to 2 feet in the Tetons and 1 to 2, maybe 3 feet up there, Pacific Northwest, Washington, Oregon. Some nice snow through the interior sections of BC as well. Breaking it down by time period. So all of 218 through 219. So if you're skiing on 219, this is the kind of snow you're going to be skiing on 219. And some nice totals there. But again, this is just the start. Here's the second period, 220 through 222. This will be a heavy period for the Wasatch and the central and northern mountains of Colorado. 1 to 2 feet through the Wasatch and potentially 4 to 12 in the central and northern mountains of Colorado. A little bit more up around Steamboat, Buffalo Pass, Cameron Pass, Mount Circle, Flat Tops. All right, third period. Kind of a quiet period here, just waiting. 223 to 225. A little bit of snow, but you can kind of see what's coming out of the north there in BC, Pacific Northwest. Those totals are starting to tick up. That's the northern branch starting to buckle. And here we go. 226 through 227. About a foot for the Tetons, the Wasatch, probably 6 to 12 in Colorado. And the numbers may increase on 228 as well. As this pattern continues, you saw the next storm that was coming in, probably 1 to 2 feet up there in the Pacific Northwest, Washington, Oregon specifically. So we're looking good. All right, let's go to the northeast. I don't have a whole lot here for the northeast. Pretty light snow, 218 through 227, 1 to 2, maybe 3 inches. A lot of that probably falls on 222. So nothing major at this point for the northeast. But guys, we'll end on the grand total map here. And again, we have a lot of snow to go during this time period. Really looking forward to it. A lot of different little scenarios that are going to play out with the flow. So I always appreciate you tuning into these updates. Again, this is the On the Snow Before You Go forecast. Take care.